Hi friends, thanks for joining me. I'm wondering if you ever have work frustrations. And I really know the answer to that already. It's yes, because you spend so much time at work. So we're gonna talk today about dealing with work frustrations, and this is a part 2, so make sure you find that part 1. So what about work-life balance? I think when you have work frustration, one of the first things you can look at is what does your work-life balance look like? If it's out of whack, you can be taking a lot of that out on your work life. So finding ways to look at that, balance it, or balance can be a weird word because you're not always looking to perfectly balance, but you're just looking to make decisions for what that balance needs to look like. Also, I would suggest that you communicate boundaries to work, coworkers, and family. So when you set those expectations, if there are things that you want to make sure to be at for family, communicating that to a boss or an oversight ahead of time instead of waiting in the moment is super helpful. Letting your family know when you're going to be late or to expect you at a certain time. Again, all of those things can be really helpful to lessen the stress at work. Okay, next, let's look at adding in your work schedule. Home priorities, appointments with your wife or your husband, vacation, kids' school or sports events. When you add that in your work calendar, instead of leaving your calendar separate, that can be really, really helpful. That again, if your oversight or your boss can see your calendar, they can see the priorities that you have on your calendar as well as you see them at work and you're not double booking things. I would also suggest to ask for help with time management. Again, there's lots of coaches out there, including me, but you can reach out to somebody that can help you figure out where you're kind of missing it with your time management. And asking for help if you haven't been doing that or figuring out on your own. Asking for help is really smart and wise to do. Okay, what if your manager is mean or ill-equipped? Ugh, that can be super, super frustrating. So I would suggest to you to talk to your manager if this feels safe to do so. I know you don't always feel safe to do that kind of thing, but that really is step number 1. Talk to your manager about where you are feeling ill-equipped, where you're feeling like communication isn't great. And then I would also add to that, seek a mentor through a different manager. Sometimes you can be mentored by a manager you see is working really well with the team. And you could just say, you don't have to throw anyone under the bus, but you could say, would you mentor me through some things at work? And that could be a really helpful tool for you. Okay, another one under that category is to go to the boss's boss. If that is something that you cannot get past a hump with the person that's giving you oversight or your boss, going up a level and talking to that person. Again, approach it where you're not throwing that person under the bus. You don't want to create tension in other ways. You want to be able to just say, I need help and I'm struggling, can I talk to you? So make it safe for the person who is overseeing you. And then next I would say, if these things aren't working, look for a different job. There are so many things out there that you could be doing. There's often competing companies where you can do the same thing but at a different location. Personally, one of my nephews, he worked at this great place that has so many great benefits and all of these things, but he could never be off. Even when he took vacation, he had to still answer calls and be on or join meetings. And he found a competitor company that he works for now, and he loves it because he's doing the same job, so it's not the job that's the big problem. It was the managing of his time to be able to be off, to rest, to recover. And he found this other job, it pays him more, he loves the people he works with, so don't be afraid to look for another job. That could be a huge win for you. Okay, what about if your frustration has to do with, like, you feel a dead end for advancing your career? I want to suggest to you that you start looking at building a network. Looking at, even if you just connect with other coworkers and stuff. They'll have thoughts and ideas and other things that you're learning from that they are walking through. And again, in safe ways, you can talk about these things of advancing career, or what do you think, what are you wanting to do next, and getting ideas that way. Learn of other companies. I just kind of shared that with you, that do what you do. That's a great open door to use. Meet with people in the same field that don't work at your company. So brainstorming, talking, finding other places of encouragement will open a door, just a great way to expand your mind and your understanding of what you could do and what's out there. So also, I would say find ways to grow your career outside of work. Take advancement classes. There's books. There's always books on all kinds of subjects, so grow in that. Add to your expertise by gaining knowledge. This will be so helpful to you. I'm for you in your work frustration, and that you would get over your work frustration. So if this video is helping you, like and subscribe. Check out my video on work frustration, part 3, that I will be doing as well. And remember, life is messy, but you don't have to be. We'll see you on the next video.